buddy. You a good boy?
Albemarle's Christmas light game is on fleek. You know what I'm saying? And other super cool things I get to do today. Banking a check, 200 bones. That's $100 an hour playing music, baby. We need to go do some cool playing music or something over here at the Courthouse Plaza. They have it lit up like a Christmas tree at night, and just haven't come into one of those. They do a lot of free music there in the summertime. I need to try to make that happen just for fun. The town I live in is called Albemarle in North Carolina, and we aren't famous for much, but we did have a runner-up to one of the early seasons of American Idol called Kelly Pickler, and it says so on the clock at the center of town. Driving through the east side of Albemarle, it could be anywhere. You could be in East Texas. They had a real problem keeping help after COVID. Now, this is not a health channel or a political channel, so I'm not going to say much about that, other than just to say that I think on all accounts, the reaction to COVID was horrible. And lots of times people, it was like they were getting paid to stay home and they couldn't keep help, and places like this really went downhill. Hi, I would like a cappuccino hot, large please, and I'd like a large unsweetened tea with plenty of ice. Oh yeah. So, case in point right there, didn't have tea today. Come on, man. Let me tell you guys about my normal breakfast when I come to Dunkin'. They have I like the cappuccino there. I think it's firmly superior to Starbucks. One of the reasons is I don't know where Starbucks gets their beans, but this is S&D coffee. McDonald's here gets S&D coffee. Starbucks gets S&D coffee beans. Now, they're two different beans. I think the Dunkin' one is a little better. I think just the nature of McDonald's, probably people tend to put sugar and cream in it themselves. And I don't know, to me, S&D coffee, the right S&D coffee just tastes good, you know, just in the drink, and you don't need the sugary purees. And they always ask me, like, they can't believe I don't want, like, the sugary flavor. And I'm like, nope, just a cappuccino, you know. But, they didn't have teas, and you know, you heard that. I didn't mean to leave the camera on. That was an accident, actually. But she got around and she goes, "Oh, you're gonna hate me." You know, it makes me think of how grateful I am. There are actually people that are legitimately trying to do a good job at these type of jobs, and I am certainly not above it. My very first job was in fast food. I've had several jobs in the restaurant industry when I was younger. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I have other options now, because it's a rough job and a tough job. But in this day and age, when people are literally trying to do that to live and not be just like on the system or whatever, I respect that, and I treat those people with true respect, and I think everyone else should. And when I see people being rude to them, I'll be honest with you, my mother was one of those that was like, just talk to them like, I'm like, Mom, anytime anybody's in a position to spit in your food, you need to be nice to them. I mean, this is, you know, it's right up there with like, don't pee in the wind and don't whittle toward yourself, right? Anyway, I never told you guys what my regular breakfast is here. They have something called a brisket and hash browns bowl, a couple of bucks. So I usually come, I get the cappuccino, I get a large, that's a large cappuccino. Sometimes I'll get a small, but a large cappuccino, unflavored, no sugar added, large unsweetened tea with plenty of ice, and that brisket bowl, it is exactly, well, it's between $12 and $13. It's under $13. And man, that is a good breakfast, a filling breakfast. Probably more calories than I should have, though, so usually I don't do that. But maybe twice a week I'll do that. Uh-oh, we ran out of white filament. So our Santa's not finished. But fortunately, that's one of the few filaments that I actually have a spare roll of. So let's get that now. Here we go. Boom, shakalaka, microphone rocker. That should do it. And there she blows. Running across town to meet with a trainer who I know he's very fit, and he's gotten some of our clients in shape. I've had a long, storied history with trainers. I had a great physical fitness revolution when I was in the Army. That, of course, being the greatest experience. But I mean, it's around the clock. You're there, and there's no cheat. You can't get out of it. And then years later, after I got older and got out of shape a bit, not as bad as out of shape as I am now, but I got with a trainer at Goals, and it just happened to be the guy was a similar to build to me, and he was a bodybuilder who was really good at, like, when you bulk up, cutting down, and I don't know, he just was able to get it done. Like 2 months, we lost, like, I don't know, 19% body fat, something insane. And of course I still had a lot more, but now I'm much older, and this guy I'm going to see, my concern is he might be just a little bit young to really relate to where I'm at. I don't know though. He trains a lot of customers. I know he's doing it for a living. He has a gym and all that. So there's a lot of things that make that difficult for me. I don't love group workouts. I did 5 months of CrossFit and lost like 5 pounds. And I was committed. I was doing it 3-4 days a week. I mean, I got stronger and faster. I didn't lose any weight. And it was hard on my joints. But anyway, I'm going to go over here and see what's up. And if I feel like I can connect with the guy, his prices are good. I mean, it's worth something, to have a real trainer. But for that, I always expect them to take an actual interest in me for the time that I'm there, because it's only a short time. And lots of them, it's like, hey man, come on over here. I'll put you with my other guy. I'm like, bro, I'm coming to you. I'm not coming to your other guy. Like, if that money is not worth you being interested in my success, then obviously I might not be a good fit. Look at this. Oh, Delilah's going to be excited. So Delilah always calls these light up. Our town is really big into the lights and the animals and stuff, and the blow up animals and whatnot for the holidays. She calls them spookies, regardless if it's Christmas or Halloween. They're always referred to as, let's go see the spookies. Well, that went amazing. I actually wound up not meeting with the owner of this little gym that's popped up. But I think that turned out to be a good thing. I'm standing there next to the owner, and I'm realizing, I'm like, this guy is a much smaller person than me. And historically speaking, I have always done better with trainers that were more my size and kind of understood the big man perspective, I guess. And another concern that I had was, like, when you're talking to like a 27-year-old, so he's telling you do this, do that. I'm like, yeah, bro, do you know what that's going to do to my knees? And this guy that he put me with was a perfectly, muscular, but not too muscular, big arms, otherwise just fit looking 54-year-old dude. And we had a really good conversation. And he has kind of a more of an organic approach to training. He does not like restrictive menus. He's more into intermittent fasting, and historically intermittent fasting is that thing that I have been able to do better than some other things. So I'm really excited, and I think we're going to start with him on Monday, so there'll be more to come about that. You guys might look at me and be surprised to know that I'm actually a member of multiple gyms already. Actually, so I was around for the creation of a local Planet Fitness, and they had a thing where if you'd go ahead and come in and start paying a couple months before they actually launched the store, that you would always get it for $10 a month. So $120 a year I pay to have access to a Planet Fitness. And my thought process is, it's worth that if your power ever goes out and you need to go somewhere and take a shower or something like that, and in a case where you don't have power. And that's actually come up a couple times, so I'm keeping that. That is a negligible amount. I blow more than that on AI subscriptions and music listening platforms and entertainment streaming services like Netflix and stuff all the time. So now for one of my favorite parts of the day, going to pick up my little Spitfire granddaughter at the Christian school at about 2:30 p.m. to take her over to her after school care. Now, a person could be forgiven for thinking that it would take forever to get through the line to pick up your kid at this place. However, they would in fact be wrong. This is the most efficient pickup situation that I have ever encountered with this many kids at a school, and I'm grateful for it. What they do is they have a police officer out here most days, and although he's not here today, so that's a little bit odd, but basically there are 4 lines that they've across this parking lot. It's a little counterintuitive, but they just showed everybody this the first day, and it's like 4 lines. It goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 from each of the 4 lines in left to right succession, and then they start back over, and everybody just figures that out and respects it. And man, literally, they don't, it's 2:28 now, they let them out at exactly 2:30, and I guarantee you by 2:36 every car will be out of this parking lot. It's the craziest thing. Hey. Now, I intended to bring the gator today to show to Delilah, because I usually get like a instant visceral reaction from the various toys and knickknacks from her. But in this case, I don't have the new one. I'm sure she'll see it later. We keep her on Wednesday nights every week and Saturday nights, so usually I bring a lot of those along. But there's actually unfinished prints in the car that she'll play with, and she likes to get a hold of my tablet that I do some of my design work on. Actually, I may want to get into a conversation about ToyCAD, which is a desktop and iPad Android software that you can use to design your own toys to print out. Really excited about that. Happy to be a Kickstarter backer of that one, and I have the beta for that now, which we might look at a bit later together. So it's just wild. This lady with the walkie-talkie up here can just look at all these people, and she knows which kids were associated with which parents or grandparents. It's wild. And so that they send them out in the right order, that when your car pulls up, you know right where to stop and they know where to go to. It's super efficient. So, you know, it's funny telling my brother about my plans to go start with this trainer. I don't know why people worry about your money, but the first thing he says, it's like, that's just crazy. You're going to pay 3 times as much as a gym membership. I'm like, a gym membership is only as good as how much you use it. But he could have taken the tact of, hey, so right now we're going through this conversation about Ozempic and drugs like that, about losing weight. And I know some people that have lost a lot of weight with it, but you know, it's off brand for us because we run a nutrition store. It's about wellness through natural supplementation. And you know, you want to avoid things like strong medicines that are hard on your liver, and definitely want to avoid things that like try to change the function of your organs, which is what Ozempic does. It's kind of like gaming your body to lose weight. And what if it doesn't go back, you know, when you stop the Ozempic, you know, and I also have noticed that those effects don't seem to last in people as well. But I just doubt it's the same reason I never really use steroids to get muscular. It's just like, hey, yeah, you can get muscular, but like at what cost, right? So anyway, I just said, hey, look, man, I'm not trying to be persnickety. You used Ozempic and you didn't think it worked well for you. I don't think I need to go through that. I think I'm going to try it the old-fashioned way. And at the end of the day, if in a year's time that I am not able to lose weight, you know, I will eventually try something like that. But I just have a belief that I can do it the right way. And, you know, the fact that intermittent fasting is really not that hard, or it hasn't been that hard for me in the past, I'm going to try that. And I don't know, I just have that feeling, especially that I'm motivated to start doing it prior to January. January, everybody's doing it, right? Like, so... anyway, just food for thought, but like that he took the negative tack instead of saying, hey, I support that, anything for you to get in shape. And he's 4 years younger than me, and he's definitely on the same path to be just as obese as me. And yeah, so hopefully this is a positive experience for both of us. And you know, maybe I mean, you know, and I'm not gonna like be paying, you know, for that forever, but like my first goal will be to get through workout number 1. And my next goal will be to get through the second workout. And my third goal will be to get through the third. And that'll be 1 week. And if I make 1 week, the next goal is going to be to try to make 2 weeks. You see where I'm going with this. After a brief hiccup in that some filament ran out, which I had back up of the same color, so that's on me. Looks like Maximus has delivered his work from the last evening. And looks like we got most of the 40, maybe lost 2. .601 comes every day, and there's peace in the valley. You can just hear it, you can just feel it. And oh, I know what I meant to come down here for. Well, A, I came down for a tasty beverage, but B, I came down to check out how the assembly of some of our little Santa earrings went. Sometimes she'll get busy. My girl Caitlin over here. Caitlin's our niece technically, but sometimes she did not. Oh, look at that! Oh, is it cool? Look at that. She got a dummy 13 going. I just want to show you guys how these little Santa earrings things, keychains, Santa keychains looked. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. The dummy 13s are so satisfying when they first get assembled because the plastic is tight and the tolerance is small, and so they're superposable. Just really neat. I want to make one of those like at 12 or 1300% to have as a life size attention grabber if I ever do. There are a couple of festivals that I've targeted that I want to go to with a tent and whatnot. Boy, that looks like it's on the training diet. Ooh, yeah.
Whatever.
Yo, maybe I don't live in Texas, but the Mexican at Famosas is muy bueno. Talking to the guy at the pumps about how crazy the weather is. Like, you're ready to hitch up the sled dogs one day, the next day you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt. It's like 51 degrees or so at like 8:30 at night. And he said, welcome to North Carolina weather. I was like, true that. I was going to make a comment about his cool looking Rubicon Jeep, but then I thought the next thing might be he'd ask me about mine, and I'm driving an inherited Honda Pilot. And I was like, I didn't know where that conversation could possibly go. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this sweet baby right here was made in 2009 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Retails for about $15.95. Shop smart. S-smart, baby. Actually, just got the print notification that we had a success from Maximus, and we're going to go see if it truly was a success. I am testing out silk PLA in a copper finish that looks pretty darn good from what I've seen so far. Printing a bust of my brother-in-law, David. Trying to do custom busts for people for Christmas, so we'll see how it turned out, but I got high hopes as of right now. And then I've been putting it off long enough. I have to rearrange and clean that entire room. I may do a little time lapse, but I feel like I got another hour and a half of work in me this evening, and there's literally nobody there to bother me. I have to take advantage of those times. Enjoying a delicious Italian ice from Jeremiah's. I hope you guys have these where you're at, because they're amazing. You can definitely get into the decadent stuff with their ice creams and stuff, but you can also do just sugar-free, which I typically do. Although I'm thinking this, you guys we're 2 vlogs in. You guys are like, man, this dude eats all the time, just eating all kind of bad stuff. But here's the thing. It's funny because spiritually, like, I'm in a really good place about getting back with the trainer, and I have a plan now. And I'm one of those people that when I have a goal or a plan, like with jiu-jitsu, it's always like, we got this world's tournament coming or this national tournament coming, whatever. And there's like this thing to focus on for 3 or 4 months. And I work better, and I realize I work better in that circumstance. But anyways, grateful to have this cool little community garden spot to chill. Definitely take advantage of that sometimes. I may or may not be procrastinating because I'm going to go inside and clean now. And I've been putting this off for months. I've had the studio so decked out and primed for people to come and record and stuff in the past, but my son uses that space as well, and my granddaughter, neither of which are particularly oriented toward keeping a clean workspace. And it's ironic because they try to turn that around and blame it on me, and I'm like, I don't have 22 cups on top of my desk, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, so I am splurging a little bit because Thanksgiving's coming up, and I knew I didn't want to start this new program, which is going to be largely based around total body workouts, three days a week, and a somewhat restrictive diet, but mostly just intermittent fasting. I've had success with that in the past, and I don't know, my mind is at rest kind of about it right now because I have made a decision of, money I'm going to spend, time I'm going to dedicate, and seriousness I'm going to give to a diet. So that's always good. So get rid of a couple of these chins would be great. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably, for Thanksgiving, I'm probably shave again. I usually just shave about once a year on my birthday or around my birthday for photos. But it gets gray. And it makes me look a lot older than I actually am. So I do have a little gray in the hair, but like when I have it tied back and whatnot, you can't really tell. But I digress. Really getting ready to turn it on, so I don't want to worry about calories so much for Thanksgiving week. But like starting Friday of Thanksgiving week, we're going to start with the intermittent fasting so that I'm well into being used to that when the soreness comes. And you guys that aren't 55 or above, you don't know. I work out on Monday and give it my all. I'm exhausted, but I'm not sore for about 3 days. And then I'm sore really bad for like 4 days. So it's a different animal. Let's get in there and see what Maximus made us. Oh, Maximus, what have you given us? Oh, look, it's a beautiful copper bust of brother-in-law David. Bam! Bam!
A leaf on the wind until then, until the moment when all ships are lifted by the rise